written in the log tables, okay? So I'm going to write out the rule as it's written in the log tables, and I'm going to use an example. Right, this is all revision, okay? We did every single one of them in Junior Cert, okay? Right, so reminder, right, okay, rule number 1. Right, as it's written in the log tables, a to the power of p multiplied by a to the power of q, that's a p. A to the power of p multiplied by a to the power of q is a to the power of p plus q. Right, example, right, okay, if I have 3 to the power of 2, and I'm just going to use a dot for multiply, if that's okay. Yeah, multiplied by, what's wrong is it's magnified, isn't it? Sorry. P plus Q. Right, so if I have 3 to the power of 2 multiplied by 3 to the power of 3, the answer is going to be 3 today. You just use add 2 plus 3 gives you 5. Right, okay, just write down one example. This is for ye. Right, okay, so this is just me doodling. You just need to write down one example. Right, if I had 2 to the power of 7 multiplied by 2 to the power of 4, what would the answer be? 2 to the power of 11, agreed? If I have 2 multiplied by 2 to the power of 5, what's the answer? 2 to the power of? 6. Because remember, 2 on its own is 2 to the power of 1, isn't it? Is that right? Okay. Right, what if I had something like 3 to the power of 2 multiplied by 2 to the power of 4? What's the answer? Or just tell me what you can't do. You can't use the shortcut there, so you can't. So in order to do that, you'd have to go 3 squared is 9, 2 to the power of 4 is 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, which is 16. Right, and you go 9 by 16 is 144. Is that right? Okay, so there's no shortcut if the bases, these are called the bases, right? Okay, so if the bases are not the same, there's no shortcut. So just be careful with that. Okay, so as I say, one example is enough for your notes. I'm just doodling for the rest of them. Okay, right, rule number 2 is division. So in the log tables, it's written as a to the power of p divided by a to the power of q. Now, I know you can do all of these on the calculator, by the way, right, okay, but there's going to be x's in them in a while, so you won't be able to do them on the calculator always, right, okay, so it's equal to a to the power of p minus q. Okay, that's what the log table says. What it means is 2 to the power of 5 divided by 2 to the power of 3 is equal to what? 2 to the power of 2. Right, okay, so there's my example. Okay, don't bother writing down any of these examples. Right, but if I have 3 to the power of 4 divided by 3 to the power of 5, what's the answer? 3 to the power minus 1? So it's always the top take away the bottom. So it's 4 take away 5. Even if it turns out to be a negative number, we'll explain what a negative number means in a minute. What about 2 to the power of 7 divided by 2? What's the answer? 2 to the power of 6. Because remember, 2 on its own is 2 to the power of 1. 7 take away 1 is 6. Right? And there's obviously no shortcut for this. 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 2 divided by 2 to the power of 3. There is no shortcut. Okay? Right, so there is no shortcut for that. Are we good with that? Because the bases have to be the same. And by the bases, I mean whatever number it is to the power. Right, okay, ready for next one, rule 3. Right, rule 3. Is it okay that I covered rule 1 and rule 2? They're all written down, are they? Right. Rule 3 is raising a power to a power, and how it's written in the log tables is a to the power of p, all to the power of q is a to the power of pq, meaning you multiply them. So if you're raising a power to a power, you multiply. As in, example, if I have 4 to the power of 3, all to the power of 4, you multiply the two numbers. So that's 4 to the power of 12. 3 by 4 is 12. Is that okay? So if you're raising a power to a power, you multiply. As in, if I have, again, one example is enough. If I have x squared all to the power of 4, what's my answer? X to the power of? No. Multiply x to the power of 8. X squared multiplied by x to the power of 4 is x to the power of 6. Right, but when you're raising a power to a power, you multiply them. Is that okay? Are we good with that? That was rule number 2. 3 even. Right, rule number 4 is any number a to the power of 0 equals 1. So it doesn't matter, right, what's here, right, it's equal to 1. So 4 to the power of 0. What's 4 to the power of 0? 1. What's x to the power of 0? 1. Right, 100 to the power of 0 is 1. So it doesn't matter, right, what it is, to the power of 0, it's equal to 1. Is that okay? And you can do it on the calculator, but as I say, you can't put the x's into the calculator. Okay? Right, so you need to know the rules. Rule 5. No, I'm getting on to the minus number. Right, okay, rule to the power. Funny you should mention minus numbers, because rule number 5 says a to the power of minus p equals 1 all over a to the power of p. Right, that means, I like to call this upstairs downstairs. There used to be a program on telly years ago called upstairs downstairs. It was even before my time. I'm not that old. Right, that's a minus p. Yes, it is. Right, okay, so for example, if I have 3 to the power of minus 2, that's upstairs, isn't it? Okay, right, so if it's negative, we don't know what it means, right? 3 to the power of minus 2 doesn't mean anything, right? So what you do is you move it and you bring it downstairs and you change the sign. So that's 3 to the power of plus 2, so that's 1 over 3 to the power of plus 2. Is that okay? Right, if I have 1 all over 2 to the power of minus 4, that's downstairs, right? Okay, and negative indice means nothing to me, right? So what I do is I bring it upstairs and make it positive, so it's 2 to the power of 4. And there's nothing left downstairs, so I put a 1 if I want, but over 1 just means the same thing. Is that right? So that turns out to be 16. Negative indices, upstairs, downstairs, move them. They don't mean anything, right? Is that okay? Are we okay with negative indices? Right, okay, how am I going for time? It's over, is it? Yeah. Oh dear. Right, okay, that was just too fast for me. Will you have a go at page 476? Question 1 and 2. I haven't gone through all the rules, but I'll finish them tomorrow, but see what you can do, okay? And here, no calculators, please. We're learning the rules, not how to use our calculators. Okay, I know you can use the calculators. Okay, so page 476, 1 and 2, and please don't use the calculators because we're trying to learn the rules, and I'll stick it up in Teams now.